Hello, Peter Wood here from Greenwood Days, back with another short film. I'm going to show you how to put or mount the billet that you've produced onto the pole lathe. Let me get out the picture and we're going to close up on this. So we've got the tool rest resting on there. We've got the billet that we produced last time. Don't know if you can still see the bits of felt tip just that we worked to. So it's still the same one. And we want to get the poppets at the right distance apart. So first things, use that lovely billet you've created as a hammer, knock it apart until we get it about the right distance apart, and make sure the wedges are knocked in nice and securely. That's about right, and that's going to give us a little bit of the centre protruding out. You don't want the centre protruding out a long way, simply because if the centre protrudes a long way, the metal can flex a little bit. Let's show you. If you wind it out, it takes a long time to wind out this, much easier to knock the wedge out and move it across, but I see it sometimes, people have just wound and wound and wound until it's the right distance, and then that will flex a little bit as you push the chisel on, so you'll get a less smooth finish. Now I've got to wind it all back. So once we've got the right distance apart, we're going to guess, and I do mean guess, where the centre is. So I'm just going to push the billet against my centre there and guess it's in the right place. Then, me being left-handed, my left hand is going to wait here, and I'm going to put pressure that way so that the billet is pushing against the centre. I can then put my finger onto the poppet, and I've got some positive, it's positively against that poppet, so I can move it nicely around, and then I can wind it in to where I think and where I'm guessing it's going to be central. Okay? It's not very securely in. If I bash it, it's going to come off. So I can then turn it up and down, and I can see it's not quite central. So this is bouncing up and down. So I can then hold it here and then adjust it up slightly and then wind it in a little bit. And I can see how badly I've done the draw knife, and it's got a bit of a curve in there. That's thanks to that ghost of a knot there. But now it's running relatively centrally. So then I can either wind it in and create the holes, or I can take the whole thing off and use a gimlet or wind it in and make a larger hole. That is all you really need at the moment. Now you can see on this side I've got one large hole and one small hole. If I'd wound these centres in a long distance to start off with and made a big hole, it would make that micro adjustment quite difficult because it would keep sliding back into the hole. So nice and lightly between the centres until you've got the right centre. Once you've got that, then you can wind it in and make it a bigger hole. Once you've done that, I've got a little hole here which has got some oil in. You can just dab a bit of hole in there. I'll repeat that, I'll dab a little bit of oil in there and a little bit of oil in there. That's really important because it makes everything run smoothly. And also when you've got 8 lathes in my centre all going and no one's put any oil in, then you've got lots and lots of squeaking going on. Now I'm going to grab the string, this is important, and I'm going to put the string behind the work. So we have work, string, and then lathe. And then I'm going to wrap the string round once. Okay? Now just wrapping it round once doesn't give you that much friction. So if I push that, it will move. So when I put my chisel on, the sum of the force of it going round is going to be lost. So I'm going to put a second wrap around. That increases the surface area and means you've got much more friction and it's not going to move when you're working. Then I'm going to put this on there, put that on there, make sure you put it into the correct hole, and then that should push up and down. You want this to be tight enough so that this doesn't fly off, but not so tight that it doesn't come back. Again, I've seen people where they've pushed it down and it's not coming back because they've gone so tight that it won't come back. Loosen it a little bit and then back it comes. And that is your billet ready to start turning. A couple of things to notice. If you put the string the other way round, where you have string, work and then lathe, then it will turn the opposite way. So when you push round or when you push down, it will turn the wrong way. This is a bigger piece of wood, so it's going to bash against the tool rest. So we're going to put a peg in, and we've got a little bit of bash in there, so we might put a little peg in that side. That's better. We could even it up, we can move the peg in a little bit. There we go, and that's ready to start turning. There you go. A quick one this time, and see you on the next film.